What's up, investors? Welcome back to the channel. My name is John and this is John Paul Investing. So I wanted to make sure that you guys really understood what options were and how to trade them, because in the last video I just posted, I didn't realize how many of my viewers are new investors. So I want to make this video to address my newer viewers, my newer investors, how exactly options work, and just to give you a look at the upside and potential downsides with trading options. So I want to make this as clear and concise for you guys as possible. But before I got into the video, I wanted to remind you that WEBULL is offering up to 4 free stocks if you use the link in the description. All you have to do is open an account and deposit $100 and let the funds settle. Once the funds settle, you'll get 4 free stocks, and what you do with those stocks is entirely up to you. So if you would like up to 4 free stocks, I highly recommend you check out the link in the description. I also wanted to remind you that I do have a Patreon group. So if you are trying to directly support the channel, go ahead and click on that link in the description and it'll take you to a screen that looks something like this. And just to make it a more personalized experience, I did limit the number of spots available for you guys to join. I recommend you guys join sooner than later. Now you have to remember, with options, it is very risky if you don't understand what you're doing with options. Unlike buying the underlying stock of the option you're purchasing, options contracts have the ability to expire to zero and become worthless, meaning you lose your entire investment. This is why I'm a proponent of getting in the habit of only selling options contracts and not falling into the trap of buying options contracts. It is very hard to time the market, and if you are going to buy contracts, it's because you're getting something that's very far out in time. And I'm going to use Nano Dimension as an example, so that way you guys can see exactly what it means to buy and sell options contracts using a stock that you guys are probably already familiar with. So once you've enabled your options in the account settings in your Robinhood account, you'll see an option that says Trade NNDM Options. If you're on mobile, all you have to do is click the trade, and then above the buy and sell, you should have an option that says Trade Options. So all we have to do is click on this and you'll be led to this page. If you're on mobile, it'll look a lot different, but all the information is the same. So up here we will see expiring, and this will give you a drop down with several different dates of expiration. So what exactly is expiring? Well, what's expiring is the options contract that you are buying or selling. When you are buying an options contract, you are buying the right to purchase a stock at a given price. When you are selling a contract, you are promising to sell a company at a specific price. And that's the basic gist of it. I'll get into puts later, but for now, just for the simplicity's sake of explaining options, I am only going to look at buying and selling calls. So when you are buying the options contract, you are buying the right to purchase at any of these prices. So the two numbers we're going to look at first is the strike price and then the price of the contract. The strike price you can also look at as the guaranteed price, and then the price of the contract is the price that fluctuates. So the contract will change in value as the stock changes in value. What stays the same is the strike price that you pick for that stock. So if you decide to choose a $5 stock price, then you are guaranteed to buy 100 shares of Nano Dimension at $5 each if you decide to buy this contract. And the market is generally pretty fair at determining the price for these options contracts. So the cheaper the contract, the more out of the money it is. The more expensive the contract, the more in the money it is. The cheaper the contract, the less likely it is to happen. The more expensive the contract, the more likely it is to happen. If we look at the 1250 strike that I sold earlier this week, we will see that right now it is $1 for each contract. So that means that somewhere out there, someone bought these contracts for $1 each, promising them the chance to buy Nano Dimension for $12.50 a share. So someone buying the call option is essentially betting that by Friday this week, Nano Dimension will be above $12.50 per share. So essentially, I'm putting up my shares in collateral for that dollar. So you can think of it as the buyer is giving me their insurance premium, and I'm guaranteeing them the chance to buy at $12.50 in the event that it shoots up to like $20 or $30 a share. Now, if they are wrong in their prediction and Nano Dimension stays around $6 by Friday, remember, I promised to sell it for $12.50. But if he can buy it for $6.30 from the general markets, it makes sense for him to buy it for $6.30 from the general markets than it does for him to buy it from me for $12.50 each. So therefore, he has no reason to exercise the contracts that he bought. So the insurance seller, or the seller of the options contract, gets to keep the whole premium, and they also get to keep up the shares that they put up for collateral. So when you're looking at options and you're looking at buying calls or selling calls, all of these contracts are the same. It just depends what side of the transaction are you. Are you the buyer or the seller? In order to be a buyer, you need to have enough money to buy the contracts. In order to be a seller, you need to have the shares to put up for collateral for the contracts. So in this case, for each contract you want to sell, you have to have at least 100 shares per contract. Remember that options contracts are always 100 shares per contract. So now that you get the gist of options contracts, we're going to look at some of the strike prices at different expiration dates, just so you can see what time value is. So to keep it simple, we are going to look at just the $12.50 strike price. So if we look at the one expiring on Friday versus the one expiring in May of next year, first of all, for December, it is 1 cent premium expiring on Friday, whereas expiring in May is $1.42 premium. So for this contract expiring Friday, you only have to pay $1 to buy it at $12.50. But for May, if you want to buy it at $12.50, you have to pay $142 per contract. And the reason for this price difference is because there is time value in options contracts. So in options contracts, we have delta, gamma, theta, and vega. I'm not very good at explaining this, so I will link to another video that does a very good job explaining this. It'll be somewhere up here, one of the cards. But essentially in options, the contracts expire, meaning they have time decay and time value. So the more time in between now and the time that the contract expires, the more value the option contract has, because it gives the underlying stock more time to fluctuate and it gives it more opportunity to go up in the long term. So the more time you give the stock price to move past $12.50, the more time value you have to pay up front, because now you're giving the stock more time to fluctuate. So because you have more time on your side, you do have to pay extra premium up front. If you're the seller of the contract, you have to sell your shares at $12.50 per share if you decide to sell a contract for the strike price. On the buying side of the contract, if you decide to buy the $12.50 strike price and Nano Dimension decides to go to $20 per share, well, you're still guaranteed $12.50 per share because you bought this contract. And if you add the premium to the strike price, you get your break-even price. So instead of paying $20 per share, you're only paying $13.92 per share. So all options contracts are essentially just that. They're options to purchase or to sell shares at a specific price by a specific day. Even the greatest investor of all time, Warren Buffett, has sold covered calls on his stocks before. So this is something that anybody can do if they're looking to try and get extra income on the shares they already own. I hope this cleared up what exactly options are so you guys have a better understanding of it. I'll likely make more videos like this in real time whenever I do sell more options on my stock. If you're still uncomfortable with options contracts, I will be releasing more videos on this. I recommend you guys keep studying options contracts because options are risky if you don't know what you're doing. But that's it for this video, guys. Thank you guys for watching. If you liked what you're watching, please go ahead and hit that like button. And while you're down there, go ahead and hit that big red subscribe button. And don't forget to hit the bell notification to get notified when I make videos just like this one. That's it, guys. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.